much. There's so much beauty. And what I know is that gratitude expands our latitude. Because it not only is with pumpkin pie, but is anyone feeling a little bit more expanded if you go to gratitude? Yeah. It's beautiful. So happy Thanks Loving. So we're in a whole season of Thanks Loving. And my aunt did prepare enough sweet potatoes, and she was the sweet potato pusher, as I had mentioned last week. And what was neat is I had to sit at the grown-up table, and we had our own butter. So the kids had their own butter, and the adults had their own butter. So that was really nice. And so we're right in the middle. It really was nice. We had our own butter. We're right in the middle between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so I'm declaring this Sublime Sunday. What do you think? Sublime. It could be splendiferous, it could be splendid, it could be superb. Anything else spectacular? Sunday? Yes? So, and I'm a big advocate for feeling our feelings, and I think poetry takes us there. I think meditation, which we'll chat a little bit about, how we can be centered in the midst of whatever's going on. We can do some centering and that sort of thing. And so I'm a big advocate for feeling our feelings. And we really we no longer need to sit on the sidelines. We can really be active participants in our life and feel our feelings fully. And so what are we going to do today? What are we going to do this week? What are we going to do next year as we're looking and feeling our feelings fully? And what I know is that every single person who is here is valuable. Every single person here is worthy. And that I'm always having a deeper sense of self-love and acceptance. And to just feel from that place. I mean, to celebrate our successes that Anthony shared, having an impact for over 100 people. I mean, I'm wiping tears. It's so incredible. And to each feel the gratitude in our own hearts for all of us who really felt for people and felt that we could experience that sense of gratitude, appreciation for what we have, and that we could share that. So we're like a lighthouse. As I think of the center, we're much like a lighthouse. We get to be that beacon of light. We get to cleanse our windows, and so we stand and we shine our light. And so we share that. We give from that place, from that point. And today we're going to talk a little bit about our eternal soul. How, as we have intimacy with our sense of eternality and immortality from a deep sense of gratitude, then as we know that connection even more intimately, then we live life even more fully. So we are like a lighthouse. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, who's the founder of the Science of Mind, which is a guide for spiritual living, he says in the Declaration of Principles, we believe in eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. So life itself is outpicturing. It's like that lighthouse. It's going far beyond what we can observe and experience. Some things are beyond thoughts, and some things are beyond words. And so we just get to be present with our feelings. And I think we'll have a little bit of that too in our spiritual practice of poetry this afternoon. So there's much more than the physicality. There's much more than even our thoughts. So each of us are called here to have an even deeper understanding of this connection and of this eternality and this immortality that's happening in this eternal now moment. So we're living in the now. And Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind talks about nature will not let us stay in one place too long. Even at the table that had its own butter. It will not let us stay in one place too long. She will let us stay long enough to gather the experience necessary for the unfolding and advancement of the soul. Don't you love that? It's like we're standing right here in the advancement of our soul. This is a wise provision. For should we stay here too long and we become too set, too rigid, too inflexible, nature demands the change. I love synchronicity. Nature demands the change in order that we may advance. When the change comes, smile on the lips and a song in our heart. So we're the welcoming presence, and there's three places of our eternal soul I want to chat about, with a sense of gratitude and a fullness of even deeper love and acceptance of our true self. One is that we're the embodiment of the living God. The next one is, I'm going to skip, you ever skip to the end of the book? Fast forward. The second one is that when the great event of the soul takes place, and so we'll talk a little bit about having an understanding of our process and from our timeline of when we arrive here in birth and when we go on to the next greater yet to be, when we move to whatever that higher plane is, that next fullness of expression. That when that great event of the soul takes place, it most definitely can be beautiful, sublime, and a glorious experience. So it is Sublime Sunday because we're in the eternal now, and that as we think ahead, as we think about what that journey is for us, we get to live life even more fully. And then number 3 is let us stop thinking about, in essence, dying or quitting or just getting by with living, just getting by. And let us learn to enjoy and appreciate our wholeness and eternal here and eternal now. You ready for the eternal now?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, when the disciples asked Jesus the Christ, who is a way shower and he's a master teacher, and much like Buddha had an awakening, he also had teachings that awaken us in our relationship with Spirit. He asked the question, what is God's relationship to the dead? He replied, God is not a God of the dead, but of the living. For in his sight, all are alive. So as we have even more clear insight, as we feel our feelings fully and we stay present in our relationship with our eternal soul and this eternal now, Spirit is forever taking form. It's also withdrawing the forms that it is taking too. It's the cycle of the seasons. We're moving from autumn into winter. We're enjoying the rain today. We're knowing that all too is a cycle and that how it also replenishes and nourishes that. And so the physical world, there's really that which is the spirit, which is formless. It is spirit that then takes form. And for that which we truly are, that true essence, it never changes. It is that constance. It is the present presence. It is the power. It is that formless life that is within us. And we did not, in essence, we didn't begin in a place and we didn't end in a place. So we're on this path, we're on this journey. And our book of the month by Alan Locos, which talks about, it's called Through the Flames. He talked about his experience and his brief brush with that next phase of his life. That there was a plane that Alan Locos, it's L-O-K-O-S, he took a plane and it crashed in a rice paddy. And he didn't panic. What happened was that he practiced his meditation amongst what could look like a terrible thing, amongst what was happening. He says that it was the meditation that he practiced that got him out of whatever pain or whatever fear was when the plane crashed. And he's about 73, and he says that he's reinventing himself for the 3rd time. Anyone ever reinvent themselves? Yeah, we all have these changes of the seasons and transitions and cycles. And so he's reinventing himself. And so for 28 years, he was a Broadway actor, and he had traveled around the country performing Gilbert Sullivan. And he says at some point, I've been in every state in the country. Okay, I'm going to tell a joke in this story. Somebody asked me, well, what, because I was traveling a little bit, and said, what state are you in? And I said, I'm in the state of joy. Okay, so back to Gilbert Sullivan. Later in life, he found himself really drawn to meditation, so he's been traveling a lot, and he needed some spiritual practice. And so he founded, after 9/11, he founded a community meditation center, and then his wife, Susanna, participates in that as well. So he, as a world traveler, he had a passion for nature photography. He found himself vacationing, and so that's why he was on the plane, because he's a nature photographer, and he was vacationing with his wife. And what happened on his plane was the landing gear did not come down, but the plane did. So he talks about that day, and he when he was interviewed, he was sitting at they have a grand piano in their home, and he has some Native American flutes around him, and then some sculptures that are spiritual sculptures. And then he also wears gloves because he had lost some of his skin, and it's to protect him. And what happened was, Locos said that the emergency exit, he wanted to push his wife Susanna out, so he was pushing her out of the emergency exit, but he got caught in it. And what happened was that that's pretty much all that he remembers. He was like halfway, and so a lot of his skin was gone. His foot got caught in something, and he just couldn't move. He was stuck in the exit, and so he was unable to move. And then he was inside these flames. So finally, he called out for help, and it's something that he had never had to do before. He was a very successful man and kept dreaming of himself. And the next thing he remembered is he was outside the plane on the ground. And so there were some villagers that were gathering outside of his rice paddy. So a crowd of the local villagers had gathered. And then what happened was, he says in this interview, he says, meditation was helping me a lot because I was able to reduce the pain and reduce my fear at the time that the plane had gone down. And there, he said that being very mindful and aware were two things that really helped him get out alive. And he had questions that were going on in his mind, and his wife had these questions too. She had the questions as far as being very mindful because she had practiced meditation too. Outside of what was the burning flame, she says, is Alan going to live? And would we survive? And where would we be? What's going to happen? So she was very mindful and aware, and he was very mindful and aware. And the doctors had said possibly that Susanna might be paralyzed because she was thrown from the plane, and she had never, when she heard that, she had never been more in the present moment. And I think that we all have situations like this in our lives where we've never been more in the present moment. And so if we think of it as a pivotal point, as a place that we can think about what's next. What's next? What's the greatest? How can I be even more mindful and aware? More than a year ago, then they founded a place where it was a community meditation center. And he says that every single day I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. And he teaches meditation. He says, on any given day, I can be joyful because I'm alive. I can be joyful because I'm grateful. I can be joyful because I'm in a greater depth of acceptance. No matter what he looks like, no matter what his physical, if he's going to the physical therapist, no matter what he's going through, he has a willingness, he says, to be open and accept all of it. He's grateful for it all. Rather than focusing on being disappointed that he didn't heal his part of his body didn't heal. What he gets to do is, he said, I can go forward in a new way. It may look different. I can go forward in a new way. It may not look like I had wanted it to look, but I go forward in a new way. So he has some simple ways that he measures his progress. He measures his progress when he picks up a fork and a knife and he's able to eat. He measures progress when he can push a door open by himself. He's very present in that moment when he has that movement. He says, I look at how far I've come, and I'm just in the now. Right here, right now is where I am. And the only thing that comes up for me are thoughts, feelings, and sensations. That's all there is. Thoughts and feelings and sensations. And so if we look at our spiritual practice of meditation, we have a bit more calm, a bit more clarity in our life. We have a sense of an undistractable reality on our thoughts and our feelings and what we're sensing and knowing at a deeper level as we're accepting and having that self-discovery. And I saw my friend was here in town. She'd come from New Mexico, and I hadn't expected her to be here. I had like a wave. I have this revolving guest room. And so there was a wave of people. And person I hadn't expected. She was in town with her husband, and she's actually her dog's, one of my dog's boyfriends. And so I leaped at the chance just to go see the dog named Smooch was in a competition. And really for me, I went there, I didn't know I was going there, but I went there for to have a spiritual conversation. This is what she was telling me about her spiritual growth. And now she's in an absolute new place, and she's seeing an audacity coach. Don't you love that? An audacity coach. Is that cool or what? We can all be a little more audacious, right? More fully expressed and more fully alive. So as we realize that we're grateful and accepting and having more mindfulness and awareness, we can be a bit more audacious. And so she was telling me the depth of some realizations, that some new layers that she was discovering, of kind of like, I visited this, like going to a hotel, I visited this Marriott before, I visited this Ritz-Carlton before, but she was really opening the door this time for a greater visit with her inner guidance. And so as she was listening to her inner guidance, she was discovering even more the different depth of something when her father had passed when she was 11 years old. And her mother had said, and sometimes we say things and we don't realize the impact, right? Or we hear things that other people may say, so we get to be a bit more patient and forgiving and compassionate with ourselves and others. She heard her mom say that now your father's in heaven, so, now he's in heaven and it doesn't matter anymore. And so what she took from that was that her life doesn't matter because now her father's gone. And she realized this at a new level. Because parents are such a big influence and authority, people and teachers and family members, and she took that to mean that she didn't have value. That he left, she didn't have value. He left, she didn't have worthiness, whatever that was. And so she got to also, too, reach another level of love and acceptance by she's reading some really wonderful books like Big Magic with One Who Did Eat Pray Love with Elizabeth Gilbert, and feeling a little bit more of her feelings fully. So it's amazing. So she's having these new discoveries. And so it also looks at when there's a great event of soul that takes place, it can definitely be a beautiful and sublime and glorious experience. So she was having a new inner radiance for herself out of what may look like something horrible that she had been carrying around with her. And I remember there's such beauty and there's such, has anyone witnessed the magnificence of the beauty in someone making their transition? Yes, someone or a pet or a family member, a friend. And I remember when my mom was on her way, and my aunt actually was there, and we were at that stage in the nursing home. And the people who were around us said, I think she's ready to go, her temperature raised, and she had a change in her condition. And the movie Contact was on. Remember that with Jodie Foster? And Jodie Foster's in this pod. And so the movie is on, and my aunt and I are sitting there along, her name's Mitch, my mom. We were along her bedside. And it was just so amazing that we were just there in support. We were like the coach. We were like there just knowing that she was escorted and ushered to her next experience. And so my Aunt Jill and I were sitting there, and we were watching Matthew McConaughey for the movie Contact. And so Jodie Foster's in this pod. And so I love Matthew. Does anyone like Matthew McConaughey? Yeah. Yes, I do. So Jodie Foster is in this pod, and she's telling herself it's okay to go. And so she's mustering up her courage, her bravery to go on that journey, that she's going to have this making contact. So as we're looking at being in the eternal, in the present moment now, Jodie Foster's in this pod, and she's telling herself, it's okay to go. It's okay to go. It's okay to go. And so my aunt and I were telling my mom, it's okay to go. It's okay to go. It's okay to go. And I just felt her presence. I just felt just this radiance and this inner experience, my own experience of the sense of lightness and this gloriousness and this just to radiance. So to be in that eternal moment, to be in that very present presence, and to bring that forward into daily life, like what we just did last week together, making a difference with over 100 people. Bringing that radiance, that presence, that power. And Anita Morjani, anyone like her? Yeah. Anita Morjani, doctors had given her just hours to live, and she arrived at the hospital. And she had an experience that she had not been expected to live through the night. Now she's a New York Times bestseller, and Wayne Dyer had promoted her, and she's thriving. She's just in her radiance. She says, there I was without a body, and so she was having this experience, and as she had gone into a coma, and then she had had the consciousness of some different realm of experience. She says, there I was, and all of my physical traits were not there. I was without whatever that physicality is. Yet my pure essence continued to exist. And it was not a reduced element of the whole self, but it was a pure radiance. In fact, it felt far greater and more intense and expansive. It felt more expansive than my physical being. Magnificent, in fact. So remember I said it's Sublime Sunday. We can feel magnificent. We can feel that inner radiance. She says, I felt eternal, as if I had always existed, and always would, without beginning or end. I was filled with the knowledge that I was simply magnificent. So if we go with that today, we radiate with our magnificence. I'm simply magnificent. So our call to action is to be as this magnificence. We can center in our spiritual practice and have less of the distractions that we have. We can move forward and stay in this magnificent place, and then reach out from that place. Ernest Holmes says the soul is the one triumphant, indestructible, and unconquerable thing you possess, shot from the invisible into this experience. It constitutes your great reality. But why wait for physical death to enjoy and experience your immortal being? Do not prepare to die, prepare to live. Whether you are 10 years old or 100, there is no death. It is impossible for you to die. Stop trying to die and learn to live. So I have an affirmation for us. Besides, I'm magnificent. A magnificent expression of radiance. Knowing that we're the embodiment of the living God, that we are beautiful, sublime, and having a glorious experience today. It's poetic. Let us stop thinking about dying or quitting or just getting by. Let's start living even more fully. So our 2 affirmations. You ready? Yes. I am the embodiment of the living God. I am the embodiment of the living God. And I focus on living. I focus on living. And so it is. And so it is. Would you do a prayer for us? Extra credit? Such a light. So let's take a deep breath. And focus on life. Knowing truly that there's only one life. Only one life that is absolutely magnificent. Only one life that is God. Only one life that is pure love, peace beyond human understanding. One life that is all-knowing, all-powerful. Know that since there is only one, it is expressing as beings, expressing as each and every one in the sanctuary. Knowing that, therefore, we are the love, we are the light, we are the wholeness. We are the peace, we are the knowingness, we are the power. And from this place, I declare and accept on behalf of each and every one of us, the life of each and every one right here is an out-picturing
of our true nature, of that love, of that light, that power, of that knowingness, of that well-being. So if there's anything unlike that, it is either in our finances, in our health, in our relationships, in our career. If there's anything unlike that, I declare and accept it to be gone right now, back into the light, dissolved, and that only the truth remains. And I know it's good and very good, and I let it be. Stand with gratitude in its perfect unfoldment. And I end this by saying, and so it is.